Hey everybody, it's Lynette here for Strikeback Videoathon Day 4. This day is about music and books and what songs make you think of certain books, so I thought the only appropriate thing to do today was to do the OMG This Song book tag. So here we go. The first question on this book tag is called My Jam, and it is, what is a song that you must listen to every time it comes on, no matter how many times you've already listened to it, and what is a book that you'll never get sick on? Sick of, not sick on. My song that I've been listening to a lot lately, it's a newer one, is Havana. I'm sure everybody has heard it by now. It's on the radio like every other song, but I love it so much. And I don't have a certain book that I could never get sick on because it's books, let's face it. I could never get sick of any book. But I think like a certain genre I could never get sick of is dystopian. Right now I've been reading a lot of fantasy books, but dystopian, that's my OG. That's my first love. I mean, I loved dystopian books even before like the Hunger Games made it popular. So anything dystopian, I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a story that I've read 100 times about a plague that wipes out most of the population. I'm gonna read it because I want to see what's different about it and how the author took a spin on it and stuff like that. So anything dystopian, I could never get tired of that. So question 2 is called Throwback, and the question that goes with it is, what is a song that reminds you of the cringiest moment in your life and the book that also reminds you of this time? The song for me, and I have a story to go with it, is The Hardest Thing by 98 Degrees. That's the name of the song, The Hardest Thing. Now the hardest thing for me to do is to tell you the embarrassing moment that goes with it. I think I was, I don't know, 3rd or 4th, 5th grade, elementary school age, and my friend Kristen and I, my best friend Kristen and I growing up, we went to the same church, we went to the same school, we did everything together. We loved 98 Degrees. That was my first concert that I ever attended. And there was this Father's Day banquet at church, and we needed entertainment for it. And since the youth group at church was putting it on, Kristen and I decided that we would be the entertainment. So we cross-dressed as boy band members, dressed like men, and dressed up like 98 Degrees. We went on stage and we lip sang. We made lip sync cool before it was cool. We lip sang The Hardest Thing by 98 Degrees. All the dads and all the guys at church thought it was hysterical, but I look back on that moment now in my life and I think, oh my gosh, that was so embarrassing that I did that. I'm like so introverted now as an adult to think back on the things that I did in my childhood that were like really out there and outgoing and extroverted. It makes me really embarrassed. So that's my most embarrassing moment that goes with the cringiest song. And the book could be, it either reminds you of this time or just something you wouldn't like as much now that you did back when you read it the first time. Again, I don't have a certain book for this, but I was super into vampires back in the day, and I would read everything I could about them. I still like them to a certain extent, like I read True Blood, the True Blood series. I watched True Blood on TV and things like that. I read Twilight, but I just don't like it as much as I used to. So I think anything with vampires for me, that would have to be my answer. So the next question is called Replay, and it is, what is a song that you've recently had on replay? And the book question that goes with it is, what is your recent favorite book? So the song for this question is called Quit by Cashmere Cat. It features Ariana Grande. I've had this on repeat in my car so much lately. I just love it so much. I Love the Fitness Marshal, for one thing, on YouTube, if you haven't watched him, which, if you haven't, like, do you live under a rock? Because he has, like, millions and millions of subscribers. But I've been doing his workouts recently because he is so much fun to watch, and he just makes me, like, excited to work out. And he has a routine to this, and it is so ridiculous and so dramatic, and I love doing it, and it just, like, made this, like, one of my top favorite songs. And I had never heard it before until I started watching his videos, and it's so much fun. You just have to look it up. Book is, you know, a recent favorite read, and of course, let's say it all together, shall we? Because I say it all the time on my channel. A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. That is my recent favorite book that I've read. So the next question is called Gets Me, and it's, what is a song that is just you? And the same thing for a book. What is a book that is just you? So the song for me, I don't even know why I picked this song. It was my favorite song a long time ago, and I think the only reason that it was my favorite song is because it talks about sharks, and sharks are like, I love sharks so much. They're my favorite animal. So of course the song is Shark in the Water by V.V. Brown. The book, I couldn't think of a book. So I did something that I saw on Facebook like forever ago that was going around. It was name 3 fictional characters that describe like you as a personality. So I decided to change the question because that's what I'm doing. And the 3 fictional characters that I pick, they're not from books, they're all from TV shows, but that's my second favorite love. The first one is Eric Matthews from Boy Meets World. Eric Matthews, I feel like, is me. He is the male version of me. I love Eric Matthews so much. He's probably my favorite character in anything ever. I just love Eric Matthews. The second one is Ted Mosby because my husband hates that I'm always like quoting random facts all the time, and that's what Ted does in How I Met Your Mother. So every time like I like quote like a random fact, he's like, okay Ted, I got it Ted, all right Ted. The third one would be Lorelai Gilmore from Gilmore Girls because I just want to be such a cool mom like that, you know what I mean? Like I want my girls to grow up and think of me like not only as their mom but like their best friend and the person that they can come to when they need whatever they want, and I feel like that's what Lorelai was to Rory. The next question is called What? And the question that goes with it is weird, but I like it. Or a unique book that stuck out to you for whatever reason. So the song that I chose for this is Feel It Still by Portugal the Man. I don't know why. I really like that song, but it is a really goofy song if you think about it. I don't know. It's just like, it has a goofy beat. I don't know. I just like it. I like it. Whatever. It works. Unique book that I chose for this question is Illuminae because I felt like it was such a unique story, but like the format and everything about that book was just unique and different and weird, and yet somehow it all worked and I liked it. I'm sweating. Like all this dancing around and lip singing, it's like tough work. So the next question is called Let's Go, and it is the best pump up song and a book that's inspired you. My best pump up song, I don't go out very much anymore. Like, I'm old. I'm almost 30 years old, guys. So those days are behind me. But when I would go out, I would listen to Like a G6 by the Far East Movement because I drove a G6 in college, like the car, And I know that's not what they're talking about, but like every time I got into my little blue G6, I would crank this song up and I'm just like, you know, grooving and rocking it out to like a G6. That's my pump up song. A book that inspired you, again, all books inspire me. I mean, they're books. I mean, right? They're books. They inspire you. That's what they're meant to do. But so I picked an author for this, an author that's inspired me, and she's really inspired me to write my own books. And, you know, just to, not like if she can do it, I can do it kind of thing, because I feel like I am nowhere near the writer that she is, but just that, I don't know, I just see so many similarities between her and myself, even though like I don't know her personally. I should just tell you who it is already. It's Sarah J. Maas. I just feel like, I don't know, I really just enjoyed her work, and they just inspired me to write my own works of fantasy. And fantasy is like not a genre that I'm typically writing a lot of. And just after reading ACOTAR and Throne of Glass and all of that, I just really thought, wow, that's so fun. She made fantasy just so much fun, and that's what I want to do. I want readers to read my stuff and be like, wow, that's really fun to read, and that's really inspiring to read. So I just want to do that for readers of what she did for me. Does that make sense? Next question on the OMG This Song book tag is called Chill. And the question that goes with it is, what is your favorite chill, relaxing song? And what is a book that you would curl up and just read all day on a rainy day or a wintry day or any day, really, just a day? I picked for my song Fast Car by Tracy Chapman. It is such a good song. Anything by Tracy Chapman, actually, because, again, Tracy Chapman, oh, all my love. But I put on Fast Car to inspire me before, you know, just like inspire my creative process to start before I start writing or anything. I just lay on my floor with my headphones in and just jam out the Fast Car. I just love it so much. It's such a great song. And then a book that I would curl up and read on a rainy day, again, not a specific book. I know this isn't very helpful, but any dark fantasy, any deep, dark, epic fantasy, I could curl up and read any day. I am down for that any day of the week, any kind of day outside, sunny, snowy, rainy, I don't care, windy, I'll read it. So the 8th question on this book tag is called Addicting, and it's, what is your guilty pleasure song? One that's catchy and addicting, but not a whole lot of substance there, if you know what I mean. And what is your guilty pleasure read? Trashy, light, fast, quick, trashy read. So the song I picked for this, I don't think anybody in the world knows what this song is about. I don't even think the group knows what this song is about, but it's classic and it's great, and I will listen to it anytime, anywhere, forever and always. And that is Bop by Hanson. The book that I picked is, I don't read a lot of trashy books. I mean, like, okay, when I think of trashy books, I think of like 50 Shades of Grey kind of trashy. I don't read those kinds of books. So I'm just gonna like say any chick lit kind of book, like Pretty Little Liars, Gossip Girl, Privilege, Private, anything like that. Any kind of chick lit, kind of light, fluffy read like that. And the final question in the OMG This Song book tag is called Nostalgia. And it's a throwback song that you look upon fondly, or a book that you read forever ago but that you look back with fond memories and reminds you of a happy childhood time. So for me, this song is No Scrubs by TLC, because I think anybody and everybody who lived through the 90s can sing the song and think of a time in their childhood where you were either pretending to be T-Bones or Chili or Lisa Left Eye Lopez, which I was always Lisa when we played TLC on the playground. Yes, don't act like you didn't do it. You too played TLC on the playground at your school, and you argued over who was going to be Lisa Left Eye Lopez. I always think back of really fond childhood memories anytime I hear any TLC song. TLC, they were just like, they were my girls. I have such fond memories of like singing the song at my babysitter's house with her daughter and my friends in her basement where we used to play all the time. We would just belt out these lyrics and it'd be so fun, and we would secretly watch the video on MTV even though we weren't supposed to be watching MTV, and oh, the good days. Good old days. Book that I picked that brings back fond childhood memories is of course Harry Potter. I remember secretly reading Harry Potter underneath my desk in the 5th grade. I could not put it down. Once I started it, you know, we had like library day, or library hour or something like in school, where we got to go pick out a book from the library and like read it over lunch and read it throughout the day. And I picked Harry Potter just on a whim. I didn't know anything about it. It was a new book. It was under the new releases, and I picked them up, and we were only supposed to like read at certain times during the day, like independently to ourselves, but I read this book all day. I read it in math class, I read it in history class, anything we were talking about, I was reading Harry Potter. I was so obsessed and addicted to it. I still am. I'm 29 years old. I still love Harry Potter. No shame. So that is it for this fairly ridiculous but fun book tag. I know I made a complete fool out of myself with these lip syncs, but it was just too much fun to go back to some of these old songs that I had forgotten completely about and just sing them all. It was just so much fun. It's taken me forever to film this video. It's literally taking me like 2 hours to film this video because I had to listen to every song in completion because I love them all so much. Anyway, that does it for me for Strikeback Videoathon Day 4. Join me again tomorrow for Day 5. I can't think of what the prompt is, but I'll be here and I'll be talking to you about some books. So I'll see you later, guys. Bye.